Once upon a time, there was a girl and a mirror. The mirror lived in her mother's room, tall and gleaming, with a golden frame carved like lace and vines. It did not reflect the room behind her, nor the color of her dress, nor the smile on her face. No, this mirror reflected something else, something sharper. It spoke, though only she could hear it. The first time she stood before it, no taller than a basket of laundry, it whispered, "You are soft where you should be small, round where you should be straight. Too much, too early." The girl did not understand. She only knew when she smiled, the mirror stayed silent, and when she frowned, it seemed pleased. So she learned not to smile too wide. She learned to tug at her sleeves, to suck in her belly, to press her thighs together when she sat. She did not know the mirror was lying. As the girl grew, so did the voice of the mirror. It no longer whispered, it judged. Your hips are wider than theirs. Your arms jiggle when you wave. You should not eat that second piece of bread. She would stand in front of it each morning, twisting this way and that, pulling her shirt tighter over her chest, pressing her hands against her belly as if she could flatten herself into something worthy. At school, she began to notice how other girls took up less space, how they crossed their legs like blades, how their clothes hung differently, how boys seemed to look at them and looked through her. The mirror fed her this silence like poison and sugar. They see what I see, that you are too much, too soft, too loud. So she learned to hide her laughter behind her teeth. She learned to chew slowly, not for politeness, but to appear restrained. She pinched and plucked and ran until her lungs burned, chasing an image she could never quite catch. And still, the mirror frowned. "Not yet," it said. "Not enough." By the time she was a young woman, the mirror had become a ritual. Every morning before she dressed, every night before she undressed. She didn't need to hear it speak anymore. The words had carved themselves into her bones. She knew them by heart. You'd be beautiful if. No one will love you if. Try harder. And so she did. She counted almonds, measured thighs, bought creams and tight things and shimmer for her eyes. And sometimes, only sometimes, it worked. She would pass by another mirror, in a shop window or a bathroom wall, and for a fleeting second she'd see herself and think, maybe this is enough. But then she'd go home, and the golden frame would greet her, and the voice would remind her, not yet. Until one day, she did something she had not done in years. She wore the yellow dress. The one she loved. The one that hugged her waist and fluttered at her thighs. She had hidden it in the back of her wardrobe after the mirror scoffed at it years ago. Too bright for a girl your size. You'll draw attention that you don't deserve. But that morning, something inside her cracked, not in a broken way, but an opening. She put it on. She did not ask the mirror. She did not wait for permission. And when she walked through the market square, the sun kissed her shoulders and the fabric caught the breeze like laughter. A little girl pointed at her and whispered, "She looks like sunshine." And the woman smiled so wide it startled her. That night, when she stood before the mirror, she waited. The voice said nothing. She tilted her head, curious. "What's the matter?" she asked softly. And the mirror, for the first time in her life, did not speak. But she saw it. A hairline crack, right through the corner of the glass. She stood before the mirror one last time. The room was silent but for her breath, steady and slow, gathering strength like a storm. The mirror's voice came again, low and cruel, sharper than ever. "You will never be enough. You are broken. You are less." But something inside her roared louder. Not a whisper this time, but a wildfire rising from years of silence and shame. "No," she said. Her voice cracked but did not falter. "I am more." With trembling hands, she reached out and slammed her palm into the glass. The mirror shuddered, then splintered. Fractures spread like lightning bolts, slicing through the lies. And then, with a thunderous crash, it shattered, shards raining down like fire on the floor. She stood over the broken glass, breathing hard, heart wild and free. The fragments no longer reflected her. They held no power, no judgment. Only truth remained. She was whole. She was beautiful. She was hers. And in that fierce silence, she smiled. And so, the girl who once lived behind the mirror's lies became a woman who lived beyond them. She did not wait for another reflection to tell her she was worthy. She carried her truth in her bones, her laughter in her lips, and the fierce light of freedom in her eyes. The villagers whispered her story, how she shattered the glass that tried to hold her small, how she chose to love the shape of her own body when the world demanded she change it. They say if you walk by the old cottage at sunrise, you might see a woman tending her wild garden. Untamed, unapologetic, radiant. And if you listen closely, you might hear her voice, clear and bright, teaching all who will hear. You are more than any mirror can show. You are whole. You are beautiful. You are enough. And if you are wise, you will carry those words with you. You will hold them close, and you will remember to love yourself fiercely, always.